Good morning, children. Today we are going to study the story The Sound Machine, written by Roald Dahl. In this short story, The Sound Machine, we find a man by the name of Klausner, who is the central character of the story, is found to be obsessed regarding a sound machine. The writer effectively sets up the story's tone with his initial foreboding by referring to the machine. There stood a black box, about 3 feet long, the shape of a child's coffin, hinting at its propensity for ruin by conflating it with a dead child. Klausner is a physicist who is curious to know if the unheard ultrasonic sounds of the planet can be heard by human beings by means of some gizmo. And the story begins in this manner that it was a warm summer evening, and Klausner walked quickly through the front gate and around the side of the house and into the garden at the back. He went on down the garden until he came to a wooden shed, and he unlocked the door, went inside, and closed the door behind him. So we find on a summer evening, Klausner is found hurriedly making his way to the unpainted room of the shed that he uses as a workshop. The writer gives us a look into his workplace, which is unadorned and simple, which helps us to understand the devotion of Klausner as his energy is totally directed and focused on the experiment that he's conducting. His shed seems to be dedicated to help him in the fruition of his sole passion in life, that is, to create a machine by which he can reach to an unimaginable realm of sound. Klausner has invented a machine by which he feels that he can reach to an unknown domain where he can hear all the inaudible sounds. But the point is that he is unsure regarding the success of his machine. But we, the readers, even before we reach the end of the story, comprehend that this endeavor on the part of Klausner will turn out to be a total failure. Klausner's background is not revealed, perhaps putting his credibility into question. Now let me read to you how the sound machine had been described by the writer. We find a mass of different colored wires and silver tubes. It has control knobs by which he could record the different frequencies of sound waves. He picked up a piece of paper that lay beside the box, studied it carefully, put it down, peered into the box, and started running his fingers along the wires, tugging gently at them to test the connections, glancing back at the paper, then into the box, then at the paper again, checking each wire. While twiddling with the wires and connections, we find him continuously speaking softly to himself, nodding his head, smiling sometimes, his hands always moving, the fingers moving swiftly, deftly inside the box. He articulated, "Yes, yes, and now this one, yes, yes, but is this right? Is it? Where's my diagram?" The above expressions clearly exemplify his doubt regarding the machine. His passion for his subject is also demonstrated when we, the readers, find him totally absorbed in his creation. His concentration was intense. His movements were quick. There was an air of urgency about the way he worked, of breathlessness, of strong suppressed excitement. The way Klausner is engrossed in his discovery demonstrates how the contraption incites dangerously fervent fascination. The writer raises the question whether humans are worthy of acquiring knowledge which is beyond their league. When Klausner first uses the machine and makes the discovery that plants can feel pain, with this, the writer seems to be expounding that obtaining or acquirement of knowledge does not always make life easier, sometimes presenting unwanted ramifications. In doing so, the writer levies a criticism of science and the danger some of its advancements may represent.